Yo, what's up, y'all? Real quick, just wanted to show y'all a couple things I picked up lately. Things I've really been looking forward to be honest. And one of those things is the Ray-Ban Meta Wayfarer Gen 2 glasses. I never had, any of the Meta glasses. So this has been quite a treat. Let me show those to y'all because that's just the box, obviously. So you got your kind of leather case, not really leather, but it's nice though. Solid case. And I went with the matte black transition lenses, so they go from clear to gray. I like the glasses a lot, and you can see them on my face. Really like these a lot, and they run about 500 bucks. With all the things that I got with them. Really enjoy those so far. But I also got something else, which is a step up from the Wayfarer, and that's the Meta display. And this is the case for those. This is real leather. You can definitely tell. And it's a foldable case. The other case is not foldable, so pop these out. Show you how they look on. Obviously thicker frame. Everything is thicker because it's got more tech in it. These are transition as well. They come standard like that, and of course they come shiny like this. They have the two different colorways. This is the black, and I really like these as well. I'm gonna show you how the case folds. So you just push that down, boom, boom. Now it's flat, easy to carry around. Now with the displays, you do have to actually wear the wristband as well. And this goes around, whatever your dominant hand is, the wrist on that hand. And then it, allows you to use the gestures and things like that, like turning up the volume, bringing up the display and all that's great. You know what I mean? But, obviously having a band along with the glasses gives you something else that you have to charge as well. And it has its own proprietary charging cable, which does use USB-C, but looks like that. So it's not something that you can just plug up to a USB-C that you already have. So, that adds a little something as well. And my bad, I actually forgot to show y'all the box on the Meta display. So it's a much bigger box because it's got the two items in it. But, basically the same thing, just a box. Now, I've worn both of them for at least a week. Well, the Meta display, a little bit less time, but I wore them for days on end. While on a trip in Chicago, actually. So I did a lot of recording, a lot of pictures, different things like that with both of them. And the cameras are basically the same. I'm not sure that there's actually a spec difference at all between the cameras or the mics or the speakers or anything like that. But obviously the Meta display allows me to see, things that I'm recording, allows me to see my messages. It doesn't work with iMessage or anything like that, but it does, it will pop up your text messages and let you know, that you got a text message or a call or something like that. As far as I can tell, both pair of glasses, the speakers are good, the mics are good. All that stuff is pretty straightforward. I do know with the displays, the transition is much, or at least it looks darker from the outside. And I think it feels a little bit like it's blocking the sun more, which, if you pay 800 bucks for a pair of glasses, you kind of expect that transition to be a little bit better than the, $400 counterpart, right? So I will say the transition on the display is better. But, if you're not looking to wear them as real sunglasses, I don't know that it matters that much. And even with the Wayfarers, I think they do a pretty good job of transitioning and they work pretty well as sunglasses as well. I will say that with the regular Gen 2s, I think that they fit my face better and I think that they look more natural. The Meta display, they look like it's a lot of technology on your face. And they're definitely heavier than like the Wayfarer. So I found myself getting, kind of like soreness or like ear fatigue right here after a while. And that's really, one of the cons of having glasses that have that much technology in it, I guess. As far as the battery life goes, the battery life on the Gen 2s, they'll go for a full 8 hours. Now that's not usually me using them as far as like taking pictures or anything like that, but I can listen to music, take calls, things like that. And they usually last around 8 hours. Now the display on the other hand, they do not last that long. I found myself or have found myself using them. And I mean, you're probably gonna get, I was probably getting 3-4 hours, maybe 3-4 hours out of them if I was actually taking pictures, videos, things like that. And that might be pushing it, to be honest, because I know I had them on today for maybe, I would say, 4 hours today, and I didn't take any pictures or anything, but I did listen to some music and take a call or two, and they were out. They were done. So they do charge pretty quickly, but the battery life on the display, and I don't know what it's advertised to be, but I'm telling you that battery life is not great at all. I do like the fact that I got the matte finish on the Gen 2 Wayfarer. I do not like the fact that the display only comes in that glossy finish. I do not like that at all. I think that's a big downfall, and I think for $800 you should be able to at least choose between a matte finish and a glossy finish. So I think Meta should probably think about that one since they're selling them for $800. I think overall, they both have their good and bad, but I think it's a lot less bad with the Gen 2 because it's at least the $300 price difference, as well as, like I said, the battery life lasts longer. Being able to get the matte finish so you don't have as many fingerprints and things like that. Those things make, and then being more natural as far as the look, those things make the Gen 2s really, really great. I think the Meta display is a really good product, but it's just not quite there yet. We got to get that battery life up. We got to get more finishes. I mean, I think everything else is pretty dope. I mean, obviously more app compatibility, so being able to use iMessage and be in group chats and things like that while using those would definitely just bring them up a lot. And I don't know when that's coming, but right now it's not here. So at $800, yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with the Gen 2s. But yeah, I mean, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. The Meta display, I was super happy, super excited to get them. But yeah, ultimately, like I said, at $800, man, it's a little too rich to not be a perfect product. And I mean, maybe there's no such thing as a perfect product, but we gotta try to get really, really close to being perfect, if nothing else. But yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with my Gen 2s, man, and out, man. But I appreciate y'all watching. Till next time. Peace.